Hello, kings and queens, and welcome to my first ever Let's Play. Today, we're going to be playing some Dark Souls. What I intend for these videos is, I hope you guys can use them for walkthrough purposes. I definitely want to provide that element to these videos. But more or less, I just wanted this to be mostly for entertainment. I want you guys to kick back, relax, and enjoy this beautiful journey we're about to partake. There's going to be a lot of laughs, a lot of crying, a lot of victorious moments, and a whole lot of fails. So, talking about how this is going to be a walkthrough, the one thing I see a lot of people, I guess, nervous about when coming into this game is all the different stats and what they mean. Obviously, if you're a Souls veteran, you know 90% of the stats here, and the ones that you don't know, you can probably infer what they mean. But for any newbies that are here, let me just go over them briefly. So your vitality is your HP. Enough said. Your attunement is a little bit more difficult to explain. Your attunement is how many spells you can have equipped at a time. It works on kind of a bracket system, so up until level 10, you only have one attunement slot, which is like one spell slot. Once you hit 11, I think it goes up to 2. And then I think at 14 it goes up to 3, and so on and so forth. I think 18's 4. I'm going to put up a little pop-up of the level caps. Next is endurance. Endurance is your stamina bar, which allows you to roll, run, attack, and it also is your equip load. I'm going to be going over equip load a little bit later when it's more convenient to do so. Your strength and dexterity are your melee stats. Your strength is more for great swords and hammers and axes, while dexterity is focusing more on weapons like rapiers and curved swords. Skipping over resistance because it is trash and you should never level it up. Just kidding. Basically, what a resistance is it helps you literally resist status effects. So, like I said, it's trash. Never level it up. And then your intelligence and faith, like your strength and dexterity, are your spell casting stats. Intelligence is more combat oriented. Faith is more support oriented. Classes is your starting point. Don't think too hard about this because this game is very malleable about what you can do with your build, and the starting point isn't life and death. It may help you start out with a couple of the items you want or get a good base stat line to start off with, but within, I'd say, 3 hours of the game, your build can be shaped into whatever form you want it to be. If I had a recommendation, I would say warrior, pyromancer, or if you want to be a spellcaster, sorcerer are probably your 3 best builds. I am going to be going for deprived because I enjoy the suffer. So your gift is an item that you can start out with early on. I recommend the Master Key. This helps you open up a lot of early doors without having to go get the actual key you need for them, and you can actually skip a pretty big area of the game. I don't recommend doing it, but if you're looking to speed run this game, or if you're really looking to not go to the area that this key helps you skip, it's definitely a method you can do. Other than that, black fire bombs, they'll help you get a early game strength weapon that I'll talk about when we get to it. Other than that, I would probably say Twin Humanities is your best bet. I'm going to go for the Old Witch's Ring because it's useless, and again, I enjoy suffering. And just filling in the rest of this customization. Yeah, you gotta go with bobbed hair. And silver because we are old and wise. And a hero's name. Let's go with... There we go. That sounds pretty heroic. Alright, and without further ado, let us begin on our journey to greatness.
In the age of ancients, the world was unformed, shrouded by fog. A land of grey crags, arch trees, and everlasting dragons. But then there was fire. And with fire came disparity. Heat and cold, life and death, and of course, light and dark. Then from the dark they came and found the souls of lords within the flame. Nito, the first of the dead. The Witch of Izalith and her daughters of Chaos. Gwyn, the Lord of Sunlight, and his faithful knights. And the furtive pygmy, so easily forgotten. With the strength of lords, they challenged the dragons. Gwyn's mighty bolts peeled apart their stone skins. The witches weaved great firestorms. Nito unleashed a miasma of death and disease. And Seath the Scaleless betrayed his own, and the dragons were no more. Thus began the Age of Fire. But soon the flames will fade, and only dark will remain. Even now, there are only embers. And man sees not light, but only endless nights. And amongst the living are seen carriers of the accursed dark side. Yes, indeed. The dark sign brands the undead. And in this land, the undead are corralled and led to the north. Where they are locked away to await the end of the world. This is your fate.
And with that, there's hope. Let's go through here, open the door. Actually, before we get started, let me show off the buttons in case any newbies are here, just to see how the game plays. You're welcome to pause the video here and just take a look at the button layout. Oh god, I'm failing already. Alright. I will be explaining a couple of mechanics throughout the game, but that's just the base layout. So heading on through here, there's a couple of these undead hollows that we can just kind of smack away at, get a couple of free souls. If you look over here, you'll see a friend. A friend that we hopefully don't come anywhere close to anytime soon, because I don't think we're going to do too hot against him. You head onward. At the bottom right corner, you're going to see a counter that goes up with any enemy kill. Those are your souls. Souls are what you use to level up. Souls are also what you use to buy. I am just not doing hot right now. Souls are what you use to buy things. Souls are the most important thing in the game. When you die, which I will be showing off probably sooner than I'd like to, they will all go onto the floor where you die, and if you can get back to your spot before you die again, you'll be able to pick them back up. Trust me, I will be showing this more than once. This is a bonfire. These are your safe havens, these are your checkpoints. You can't really do much here right now. If we had any HP loss, we'd be able to restore HP, but we didn't get hit, so we're good to go. And we're gonna open up this door here. And we're gonna come face to face with a little friend. Meet the Asylum Demon, the first boss of this game. This is not the guy that we just saw. That guy had like a battle axe kind of thing. This guy has a hammer. If you were to actually kill this guy, if you were to actually kill this guy in this interaction with him, you would get that hammer 100% of the time. But as you can see, we don't do much damage at all. So the only thing we can do is run away. When we were creating our character, you had the option to pick black fire bombs. That's actually what you want to use to fight that guy. I don't think it's enough to kill him all the way, but it will do most of his damage, and then you're just going to have to hit him with your little sword to kill him the rest of the way. What we just got there is the best shield in the game, and if we go up here, we're going to get the bread and butter of why everyone picks the Prive, the club. Let's go ahead and kill this guy real quick, and then I'm just going to talk about shields real quick. Alright, so now that he is dead, shields. I will talk about weapons. I want to talk about them a little bit later when we get more, so it's just easier to talk about the diversity of weapons, but shields. What you want to look for in a shield is mostly going to be on the right side where the damage reduction is. Damage reduction is how much percentage of damage a shield will block. So as you can see, physical is what most enemies are going to be doing to you. And this shield does 75% physical damage reduction, which you may think, oh yeah, that's really good. It's not good. It's really not good. You have magic, fire, and lightning too. You won't have to worry about these more, like, mostly throughout the game. It is good to have a shield that is good against each one of these just for certain situations. But like I said, if you have a 100% physical shield, which there are a ton of in the game, you can rock that for most of the game and be good. Stability is how well your shield takes hits without becoming guard broken. Essentially, just have high stability. You'll be able to block against more attacks and more fierce attacks, so like attacks from heavier weapons, to say. If you head through here, you look through here, we're gonna see someone that looks a lot like the guy who just saved us. With no way to get in, though, I guess we're just gonna have to leave him behind. Luckily, we saw that ball. I promise you, the first time I played this game, I did not get hit by that ball. Absolutely not. But it opens up the way to talk to our friend.
Oh, you. You're no hollow, hmm? Thank goodness. I'm done for, I'm afraid. I'll die soon, then lose my sanity. I wish to ask something of you. You and I, we're both undead. Hear me out, will you? Regrettably, I have failed in my mission, but perhaps you can keep the torch lit. There is an old saying in my family, "Thou who art undead art chosen, and thine exodus from the undead asylum maketh pilgrimage to the land of ancient lords. When thou ringeth the bell of awakening, the fate of the undead thou shalt know." Well, now you know, and I can die with hope in my heart. Oh, one more thing. Here, take this. An Estus flask, an undead favorite. Oh, and this. Now I must bid farewell. I would hate to harm you after death. So go now, and thank you.
So, we have two options here. We can leave and let this guy suffer and rot away, or since he scratched our back and gave us a key, we can scratch his and put him out of his misery. But why? Buddy, you just said you were dying. I didn't think it was that serious. Anyway, what he gave us is 1, the key to open that door, and 2, the most important item in the game, the Estus Flask. The Estus Flask is essentially your health pot. Now when you rest at bonfires, your Estus Flask will recharge back to its 5 doses. There is a way to make that number higher, but that is something we'll talk about later in the game. Also, there is a way to make your Estus Flask heal more health per dose, but again, that is something we're going to talk about just a little bit later. If you come through here, you're going to make it past the easy enemies of the game, and then this is the slightly stronger easy enemy of the game. This guy has armor, he has a shield, and he has a long sword. What I did right there, I actually just parried him. Parries are one of 2 counterattacks in this game. Well, I was hoping we were going to get like an item from him. Parries are one of 2 counterattacks you can do in the game. There's parries and there's backstabs. Parries are harder to pull off, but they do a little bit more damage than backstabs. Both are something you should really try to perfect if you're going to play this game. It's going to help a ton. So, if we head onward. And it looks like now we have the high ground. So what we want to do here is walk off, land on his head and press R1. And you'll do a plunging attack. Plunging attacks do a significant amount of damage. As you can see, we took out almost half his HP in one blow. And the Asylum Demon really isn't all that tough. He has that floating attack, but it's super easily telegraphed. You can literally just turn around, walk away, and then come back. He has that little sweep attack that's going to do a little bit of damage. A slightly farther sweep attack. He has an overhead swing, and then he has an attack where he's going to pick up his hammer and kind of drop it straight into the ground. That drop straight into the ground is the damage dealer of the bunch and the one you want to watch out for. But, as you can see, he's so easily defeated. I couldn't even get through all that without him dying. Let's use the key that he dropped. And get the hell out of here. You head up here a little bit. You're actually going to turn right over through here. Grab that soul of a lost undead. That's a soul item. If you use that, you get a little bit more souls. They're pretty good just to stock up on, and then use a bunch of them at once whenever you need to get like an easy level. If you want to buy something that's a little pricey. But without further ado,
only in the ancient legends it is stated that one day an undead shall be chosen. to leave the Undead Asylum in pilgrimage to the land of the ancient lords. Lordran.
Welcome to the land of Lordran, specifically Firelink Shrine. Now, before we call it an episode here, I think we should do two things. One, I'm going to go over what humanities do, because these are also a very important part of the game. First off, they restore HP, so using one here is kind of a waste, but I want to show it off, so I think it's fine. So you're going to use a humanity, and then up in that upper left counter, you're going to see it goes to a 1. You're going to come to a bonfire. Now we can do a whole bunch more at a bonfire. We're going to talk about leveling up later on. We're going to talk about kindling later on. What we want to focus on now is reverse hollowing. Now, we don't look too hot right now, but you reverse our hollowing by sacrificing a humanity. We are looking a whole lot better. And secondly, what I wanted to do before we ended off this episode is let's meet some of the inhabitants. Now that we're looking a whole lot better, maybe somebody want to be our friend.
Well, what do we have here? You must be a new arrival. Let me guess. Fate of the undead, right? Well, you're not the first. But there's no salvation here. You'd have done better to rot in the Undead Asylum. But too late now. Well, since you're here, let me help you out. There are, actually, 2 bells of awakening. One's up above in the Undead Church. The other is far, far below, in the ruins at the base of Blight Town. Ring them both, and something happened. Brilliant, right? Not much to go on. But I have a feeling that won't stop you. So, off you go. It is why you came, isn't it? To this accursed land of the undead? What? You want to hear more? Oh, that's all we need. Another inquisitive soul. Well, listen carefully then. One of the bells is up above in the Undead Church, but the lift is broken. You'll have to climb the stairs up the ruins and access the Undead Burg through the waterway. The other bell is back down below the Undead Burg, within the plague-infested Blight Town. But I'd die again before I step foot in that cesspool. Bloody hell, what is it now? You ask too many questions.
Okay. Very informative, but rude. Head down here. Oh. Never mind. She doesn't want to be our friend either. She will be helpful later on, but not right now. And we're gonna head up here.
Hello there. I believe we are not acquainted. I am Petrus of Thurland. Have you business with us? If not, I'd prefer to keep a distance, if possible.
Everyone here is so rude.
Hello there. I realize that I have requested that we retain our distance, but I also want you to know that it is not meant in ill will. Here, take this, as a token of peace. No, go ahead. It's for you.
Huh. Maybe he's just misunderstood.
Oh my, you again. Oh, I know. How about this? I have to await my companions here anyway. So what if I were to teach you some miracles? Would that please you? Very well. Then first, a covenant with the gods. Now let me share my miracles. Only their ultimate effectiveness will be determined by your efforts and your faith.
Alright, so
Come again. The effect.
we're gonna talk about what he offers later on in the covenant thing next episode. But if there is a lesson to be taken away from this, it's if someone's rude to you first, try talking to them for a few more times. By the third or fourth conversation, they'll invite you to join their cult. And I think on that note, we've accomplished a lot. We've broken out of jail. We watched a knight who just saved us get murdered at our hand. We stole his replenishable glass of OJ. And we escaped the Undead Asylum after killing a demon and tried to make some new friends here. I don't know if they really like us or not, but we're going to just keep on bugging them, and sooner or later they'll warm up to us. My name's Ricky, and thank you for watching my first episode of Dark Souls. Next time we're going to be exploring Firelink just a little bit more, getting all the items this place has to offer, and then we begin our journey to the Undead Church to find the first Bell of Awakening. And once again, thank you for watching.